And the inheritance law storm continues to rage, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi launching a fresh strike on the Congress party. A day ahead of the second phase of polling across 13 states, the Prime Minister referred to Rajiv Gandhi's era and gave out the reason why the former PM abolished the inheritance law in 1985. The Prime Minister said that a share in the inheritance used to go to the government. But after Indira Gandhi was no more, Rajiv Gandhi, he alleged, scrapped the law in order to save the family's property. Prime Minister Modi went on to claim that the Congress party wants to bring back the inheritance law out of greed for power.
जब देश की एक प्रधानमंत्री बहन इंदिरा जी नहीं रही, तो उनकी जो मिल्कत थी, उनकी जो प्रॉपर्टी थी, वो उनकी संतानों को मिलनी थी। लेकिन पहले ऐसा कानून था कि वो उनको मिलने से पहले एक हिस्सा सरकार ले लेती थी। कांग्रेस ने पहले ऐसा कानून बनाया था। अपनी माता इंदिरा गांधी से मिले हुए पैसों को बचाने के लिए उस समय के प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमान राजीव गांधी ने अपनी संपत्ति बचाने के लिए पहले जो इनहेरिटेंस कानून था उसको समाप्त किया और खुद के पैसे बचा लिए।
Congress has countered the Prime Minister's charge, accusing him of trying to misguide people on the manifesto. Congress's Jairam Ramesh has asserted that there is no mention of inheritance law in the Congress's manifesto and that bringing it back was not on the Congress's agenda. The BJP's hit back, saying Congress protected its own family's properties but wants to loot wealth of the people of India.
इस न्याय पत्र में विरासत कर का कोई जिक्र नहीं है। विरासत कर हमारा एजेंडा नहीं है। और हकीकत यह है कि 1985 में नए प्रधानमंत्री राजीव गांधी जी ने उस विरासत कर को हटाया था। और 2014 और 2019 के बीच में अरुण जेटली जी, जयंत सिन्हा और बीजेपी के कई समर्थक, शुभचिंतक, बुद्धिजीवी ने विरासत कर का वकालत उन्होंने की।
जब कांग्रेस कोई काम करती है अपने निजी स्वार्थ के लिए करती है, अपने आप को बचाने के लिए करती है, अपने आप के द्वारा देश को कैसे लूटा जाए उसलिए की है। जो हत्या हुई थी इंदिरा गांधी जी की, उसके बाद में आधी पूंजी जो है सरकार को मिलनी चाहिए थी, वो सरकार को ना मिलकर राजीव गांधी जी को मिल जाए, ऐसा षड्यंत्र इन्होंने कहा। इसलिए देश हित इनके मन में नहीं है, निजी हित है।
Jawaharlal Nehru, after independence, gave away all his properties to the nation, donated it. If calculated now, his properties are worth 1 lakh crore rupees. You are talking of a family which gave away their lives for this nation and never gave importance to money. But what property did he have? What property did Indira Gandhi have? I challenge the BJP to announce the properties.
उस समय पर एक एस्टेट ड्यूटी टैक्स, जो कि आज जिसे विरासत कर कहा जाता है, वो लगता था, पर उसके बाद उसको तुरंत हटा दिया गया। दरअसल मंशा ये थी कि स्वर्गीय इंदिरा गांधी जी की, ये मीडिया में छपा है, $1,70,000 जो उनके एस्टेट के थे उस समय पर, वो दरअसल राजीव गांधी जी और उनके परिवार को मिले और उसमें कोई भी कर, कोई टैक्स ना लगे, कोई 55% खाए ना जाए।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, our guests continue to be with us. Let me go across to Dr. Nikul Patel. Nikul Patel, the Prime Minister says that this is nothing but to save the family property that Rajiv Gandhi brought in this law. What's your response to that?
If it was so, then he might have not abolished that law. If you see that law is applied to the entire country. And now what Jairam Ramesh ji rightly said, that we are not in process of bringing it back again. It was the vision of Rajiv Gandhi ji that everybody must have their own property with them. Now, secondly, we are over here with our manifesto, and Pradhan Mantri ji feels that he is decoding our manifesto very well and he is able to read between the lines. Mallikarjun Khadge ji has written the letter to honorable Prime Minister, and he might be ready to go with the manifesto and understand what Congress is telling in his manifesto from our honorable Prime Minister. So very strange to listen from Prime Minister that we are going to do it. But secondly, if we see what is happening is that what first phase vote out says that definitely the voting percentage has gone down, and honorable Prime Minister is now not able to even speak what is 400 plus and what he is just moving towards communal speeches. That is what we feel. But over here we are only with Yuva Nyay, Mahila Nyay, Shramik Nyay, Farmers Nyay, and whatever population is there, 2011 count pending, we are demanding it. We are never telling about inheritance law back to the country.
Okay, many hands going up. I want Tushar to come in on this. Tushar, how do you explain this? Because, you know, here you have the Congress, which has completely denied these charges. They say that this has nothing to do with any kind of inheritance as far as the Gandhi family is concerned.
Madhav, I have a simple question for the Congress spokesperson. Page number 28 of the manifesto, point number 21, which says, we will address the growing inequality of wealth and income through suitable change in policies. Now, one can understand Rahul Gandhi is worried about equity. He wants equal opportunities for everyone, for them to earn, for them to build something of their life. My question to the Congress spokesperson is, can he explain the usage of the word wealth on page number 28 of the Congress manifesto, point 21? Can he explain why that word has been added? And about the inheritance part, Madhav. In 2011, the then Home Minister made a point that we are debating inheritance tax. It was picked up again in 2013. And now Sam Pitroda, who cannot be dismissed as someone who just appears during the election season, his closeness to the Gandhis and to the Congress and his contributions as well to the Congress are well known. He is the one who was saying that the middle class should not be selfish and they should be paying more taxes. He was the one who said hua to hua when he was asked about the 1984 riots in Delhi. So let's not dismiss Sam Pitroda's statements as a random hearsay. What he says, directly or indirectly, strongly represents the Congress's stance, and that is why, with all the respect, with all the humility, I want the Congress spokesperson to explain page 28.21 why the word wealth has been added there.
That's actually a very good point. And Sanjay Jha, you know, you have Jairam Ramesh who says that we didn't have anything on wealth redistribution in our manifesto. But the point that he has made is that, and I'm just going to quote, change the policy to address the inequality of wealth and income. This is mentioned. So it's not like there is no mention of redistribution or the inequality of wealth and income as far as the policy or the manifesto of the Congress is concerned.
Yeah, Madhav, 2 points. 2 points. Number one, it is very rich of Prime Minister Modi to make a crude, cheap and vulgar attack at the Gandhi family when his government is responsible for the biggest scam after 1947 called electoral bonds, where we have seen criminality, corruption and crony capitalism of the highest order. And there is evidence. It will be exposed. It has already been exposed. Point number two, as far as redistribution is concerned, the Congress party hasn't said anything about redistribution. In fact, 1996 and 1999, it is the BJP that had redistribution in that manifesto. Point number three, they are talking about Sam Pitroda. Sam Pitroda was never a minister in the government of the Mr. Rajiv Gandhi or the Congress. But Jayant Sinha, a minister of state for finance, publicly stated that they are considering inheritance tax under Mr. Modi's government. Arun Jaitley, the finance minister, reportedly, and it is there on the public domain, favored an inheritance tax. They almost brought it in the 2019 budget. So the question that we need to ask the BJP is, why are you so hypocritical? Why do you mislead the people? And Madhav, can I tell you the biggest lie that the BJP is spreading? I'll tell you the biggest lie. Even one of their supporters, Mr. Mohandas Pai, has openly said in 2016 that an inheritance tax is a good idea. I'll tell you why they're lying to the people. In countries where they have an inheritance tax, Madhav, it is on the richest people, people like Adani, Ambani, Vedanta, and so on and so forth. But the BJP is spreading this canard that this will affect everybody like you, me, and the viewers of your program, which is a blatant lie. They are misleading the viewers. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, is behaving like a, I'm sorry to say, like a pathological bluffer. like a bluff master.
All right. Guru Prakash, come in on that because there are, of course, the fact that the proposed inheritance law is being misrepresented. It doesn't include the rich, brought in fact, by the BJP that it includes the middle class. But the larger question is that it is a fact that on record, several leaders, including Mr. Jayant Sinha, and there are references of Mr. Arun Jaitley also to the inheritance tax. But at least one of them, Mr. Jayant Sinha, was seen supporting that particular inheritance tax. And he was a minister in the first Modi government.
He was a minister. There is absolutely no denial of that, Madhav. But let me make this very clear. When the Congress leadership, the Congress politicians, they discard Mr. Sam Pitroda as Mr. Nobody, I think this is something to be pondered upon. Mr. Sam Pitroda is a president of the Indian Overseas Congress. Congress globally outside India is being led by Mr. Sam Pitroda. So the statements, the thoughts or the reflection of Mr. Sam Pitroda is the statement of the Congress party. It is the ideology and the thinking of the Congress party. And it cannot just be coincidental. Mr. Rahul Gandhi in his manifesto, Mr. Rahul Gandhi in his every political speech is saying we will do a socio-economic, focus on economic. We will do an economic survey, and Sam Pitroda is saying that there would be wealth distribution. It is an open call for assault, a financial genocide for the middle classes of the country. It is a call for a financial genocide for the middle class of India. The Congress party, obviously, they do not understand the concerns. When it comes to them, Mr. Rahul Gandhi will be a beneficiary of inheritance. Madam Priyanka Gandhi would be a beneficiary of inheritance. They would take the legacy, the political legacy of Jawaharlal Nehru. They would talk about the political legacy of Indira Gandhi. But when it comes to the common man, when it comes to the middle classes, they would have a fundamental problem with it. It is not a matter of coincidence. Mr. Sam Pitroda has been the ideological pillar of the Congress party, point number one. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, speaking of economic distribution, wealth distribution, is an open call for financial assault on the middle classes of the country. And the middle classes would be very well aware of the fact that the Congress party in its entire history has been anti-middle class, anti-poor, anti-rich.
Madhav, the biggest financial genocide, which is a horrible term to use by the BJP spokesperson because they did that in Gujarat in the 2002 riots, was demonetization. Demonetization destroyed India's economy. I mean, you don't teach me economics, boss. Let me tell you, you destroyed GDP of 2%. Which is like 5 lakh crores were wiped off from India. You own a policy to each and every citizen of the country. 5 lakh crores wiped off.
Absolutely lying.
Okay, I just want to come back to the subject at hand. One second, let me just come back to the subject at hand. Guru Prakash, this is a question, and Tushar, you can come in, you feel free to come in on this as well. You know, I have a copy of the Estate Duty Amendment Act 1985. Now, this act, and I'm just going to read out the last sentence, it says, notwithstanding anything contained in Section 5, this act shall cease to apply to levy of estate duty in respect of any property other than agricultural land which passes on the death of any person on or after the 16th day of March, 1985, which means that it is after 1985, the death of Indira Gandhi happened in October of 84. So does this act, and given the date, does it really apply in the case of Indira Gandhi? Guru Prakash, how does that really work? Because this act was passed at least a good 5 months after her killing, 4 to 5 months after her killing.
No, absolutely. You see, Mother, this thinking of the Congress party, and like I said, it is not about only inheritance of finances. It is inheritance of political legacy as well. The Congress party and the Congress leadership in the first family would take benefit from the legacy, but would want the middle classes to sacrifice. This has to be clear. And Mr. Sam Pitroda, let me put this very clear on your show, Madhav, tonight. The US law which he's talking about, it's a state law. It's not a federal law. And it is only applicable in 6 states from the range of 5% to 15%. Nowhere globally, there is a 55% provision of inheritance tax. I challenge Mr. Jha, I challenge Mr. Pitroda, I challenge the entire Congress party to give me one evidence where there is a 55% tax on inheritance.
But is this amendment applicable on the case of Indira Gandhi? Because the death after 16th March 85 is what's written, from my understanding. If there's another explanation, Guru Prakash, would you like to come in on this?
He has no answers, Madhav.
No, it's not that. It's not Madhav.
One second. Sanjay, I've asked him a question. Let him respond, please. Yeah.
No, Madhav, it is just a one-off incident. It is just a one-off incident, Madhav. You cannot just give an example of an act and reflect the entire thinking of the Congress party. The entire thinking of the Congress party, like I said, is anti-middle class. 2-3 पीढ़ियों से काम करते रहे. Indian society, the center of Indian society is family. And families work for generations. And these Congress leadership, these Congress politicians want to have a pie of that. They want to nationalize that, what we are going to earn for our sons and daughters. So the middle classes has to be very cautious. The middle classes has to be very alert of this Congress party.
All right. But while that clarity of how that law really operates, I want to ask Sanjay Jha a question. Sanjay Jha, there are media reports from the time that say that under a finance bill that took effect on 1st April, all death duties in India have been abolished and no inheritance tax will be assessed on the Gandhi estate. This is a fact that has been recorded in the media right back then.
Yeah. So basically, the simple and short story is that estate duty, inheritance tax, all of it came to an end in 1985 for everybody across the country. And you should read what Mr. Vishwanath Pratap Singh, who was a finance minister then, categorically said. He says the collections of the revenues from these taxes did not justify the administrative expenditure. But now let me expose the lie of the BJP spokesperson. The middle class of India has been pauperized by the BJP. The middle class trusted the BJP. They have been betrayed by the BJP. On oil prices, this government, 26 lakh crores they took actually as excise duties, which should have gone to the middle class and the poor, was extorted by the BJP. Number two, 16 lakh of NPAs written off that should have gone through a greater degree of benefits to the common man was given to the crony capitalists. And I can tell you today, the middle class has got no jobs. They're paying for high inflation. They're living to pay their high EMIs. They're living in highly congested homes. They have limited hopes, and they are seeing a destruction of our society through polarization.
Okay.
They're feeling hopeless under you, Guru Prakash.
All right. Let Tushar come in on that. Tushar, allegation of Sanjay Jha after his allegation of economic ruin, now banking on polarizing issues. Tushar.
Madhav, 2 points since you asked about the applicability of the law in 1985. The same article from 1985 also states that Mr. Rajiv Gandhi had petitioned the court and no overseas properties that were listed in the will were published actually. So there is already a lot of contention as to what the law covered and what the law did not cover. That's a separate debate for a separate day. Number two, I find it very ironical that Sanjay Jha says that people are unable to pay their high EMIs or they have to pay high EMIs. Mr. Jha, you are a student of economics today, and you are saying people can afford EMIs, people are getting credit from the bank, but somehow the economic situation is bad. And since you're talking about corporations, and I've fact-checked this on Twitter as well, between FY07 and FY12, when your government was there, the CAGR of the loans given out to the top 10 corporations, which also included Adani Enterprises, the CAGR was 40, while the banking system loan had a CAGR of 20 years between those 5 financial years. Can you explain that? And finally, you say that Sam Pitroda is not a minister in the Congress government. You have also not been a minister ever, but you have represented the Congress and represented them well for the last decade. So should we not take your view seriously, or should we take Sam Pitroda's view seriously? Please answer.
Sanjay.
Okay, let me tell you, Tushar, I mean, I know you post stuff on Twitter about me. Feel free to do that. I have no problem. But can we deny the fact that in the last 5 years, this is what people remember. This is what people are going to vote for. In the last 5 years, India's GDP growth is, you know how much? 4.1%. 4.1%, which is why the farmers are out. The young don't have jobs. 82% of India's young are part of the unemployed workforce. Women are not even getting enough jobs. They're dropping out of the workforce. Female participation labor rate is in the 20s. Come on, man. You guys have destroyed the Indian economy. The demographic dividend story of India is over. There is no USP left. How much can you bluff, man?
Tushar.
Madhav, may I reply?
Yeah, please. Floor is yours.
Yeah. Sanjay, you keep talking about this economic crisis that has plagued this country for the last 10 years since 2014. And you say that people will remember this. You say this before every state assembly election. You said this before the elections of December 23. You said this before the elections of March 22 when the COVID wave had struck the economy globally. Why don't people remember you in the voting day? My simple question, Sanjay, let's talk about the farmers. Since you mentioned farmers, the Punjab farmers were agitating against the government in 2020, 2021. Why did the same farmers not trust the Congress in Punjab to solve their problems? And you talk about making prophecies on a lighter vein. You said आप महाभारत के संजय और उनकी भविष्यवाणी सही होती है. आप तो ट्विटर पे लिखते हैं, mark my tweet, बीजेपी will lose. 2014 में भी लिखे आप, 17 में भी लिखे, 19 में भी लिखे, 22 में भी लिखे. तो आपकी prophecy तो 4 बार गलत प्रूफ होगी. मेरा आपसे क्वेश्चन ये है, आप कहते हैं लोग दुखी हैं, ये लोग कांग्रेस को याद क्यों नहीं करते फिर?
Okay, Sanjay Jha and Tushar Gupta, let me request both of you to call it off. Let me quickly bring in Mohammad Tariq Khan on this. Mohammad Tariq Khan, big question at the moment that all of this, in fact, Sanjay Jha alleging is nothing but a diversionary tactic. The BJP says that it is with good reason that the Prime Minister has raised it because there was some kind of attempt at covering up or reducing the tax liability of the Gandhi inheritance. Where do you stand on this, Mohammad Tariq Khan?
I don't think that Prime Minister have any proof what he said today that this law had been scrapped because of Indira Gandhi died. We don't have any proof or we have any type of discussion. I just want to say, look at the level of hypocrisy BJP have.
Why do you say there's no proof? The law was passed, sir. Was the law not passed by Parliament?
Just the law was passed when Indira Ji died. It doesn't say that this law was passed because to have to possess or to just have that property in the hand of Rajiv Gandhi. We don't have any proof in the history of India.
Sir, the bill that was opened has about $1,75,000, which was a considerable sum amount in the early 80s. You would also agree?
That's all right. That's all right. But I'm saying that we don't have any proof that this was intentionally done to have that property in the hand of Rajiv Gandhi. I am just saying that we don't have any these type of discussion in a previous time. I just want to say, look at the level of hypocrisy of BJP, that something is said by Sam Petroda is a statement of Congress, and a finance minister if says something is his own state.
Okay. We'll have to leave it there. Mohammad Tariq Khan, Dr. Nikul Patel, Sanjay Jha, Tushar Gupta, Guru Prakash, thanks to all of you for joining us this evening. Of course, remains to be seen what other issues come up in the course of this entire campaign. But clearly, of course, an interesting one as several episodes from the past come up and are referred to during the course of this entire Lok Sabha election. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.